Hey, hola, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour, ça va? It's me, the Lost Canuck, and we're out here in the barbecue barn, standing next to my Blaz'n Grill Works Grand Slam grill. Okay, and what today's episode is going to be is some really cool mods. You see, I've got this FireBoard Drive pellet drive here in my FireBoard Labs pellet drive here in my hands, and you know, like one of my pet peeves, I don't know if you saw my review video, I'll put the link up here, but one of my pet peeves is this Roanoke Controls controller. So FireBoard Labs has come out with this really cool mod that you can do. So we're going to get into that in a second, but first, let's roll that intro. All right, well, we're down at the pit, and I just turned it on. I got it set up for 250. 250 is about the temperature where this little Blaz'n doesn't make anything beyond 250. There's not really a whole lot of smoke production. 225, you know, and under, not bad smoke. But, you know, where it struggles, and most pellet grills struggles, is higher temp smokes. So I have it set at 250. It says it's 248. You can see that's the set point. There's what the thermometer's reading. What I want to do is a little before and after on the control change. So this is the original, and I'm keeping this. This is my control panel. It's a Roanoke controller, but it's of the Blaz'n one. And I'm going to get a close-up of you know, how much smoke's coming out of here. Hardly see anything. Take it off the tripod. We'll do it before, and then we'll do an after. So here's the before. I'm just trying to see if you can see. You know, put a black background up. You know, I can feel the exhaust is hot, okay, but very little smoke. All right, and I have it set at 250. I'll just open the lid so you guys can see. Yeah, even in here, you can tell there's not much smoke happening. So that's the before, and we'll see if this if the FireBoard stuff does any better. Okay, so we're back. We got the FireBoard pellet drive all here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this, install it in here. Now this is the magnetic mount one, so I don't have to do much drilling or anything. We're going to turn it into this. And hopefully when I'm pointing over here, there's something to look at. Otherwise, you won't be seeing anything. Anyways, here's the FireBoard Labs pellet drive. And what we're going to do is I'm going to jack this up in the air on my motorcycle jack. So because I'm old, and I got to get underneath here to disconnect a lot of the wires. We're going to take this off. We're going to take the Wi-Fi module off and replace it with this. Now this already has built-in Wi-Fi. Anyways, so if you're interested in this FireBoard Labs pellet drive, I got a link for it down below if you're interested. It's pretty cool. I paid what I paid for it, $350 plus I think there was shipping on there too. So anyways, it's $350 or $349 to do the convert your old style controller to the new style controller. Hey, and we're going to have fun and learn about this together. I've never done anything like this before. We'll see how hard it is for you to do. But if you have a pellet grill like this that has a Roanoke-style controller, like if you have a Pits and Spits or the Blaz'n or something else that has this style, this should work. Okay, so let's find out together. So you can see I've got this jacked up in the air with my motorcycle jack. Let me show you what I did. Okay. So there's my motorcycle jack. That's just a Harbor Freight jack. They're pretty cheap. So anyways, it's nice and jacked up in the air. I can sit down, work on this thing a little more comfortably anyways. Okay, so let's open up the box and see what we got in there. Oh, pro tip. Make sure your pellet hopper is empty because it's, as you can see, it's leaning this way a bit. It's a little more heavy on that side. So less pellets, less weight. So let's open this thing up. This will be the first time for all of us and see what we get. Okay. So, looks like you got quick install instructions. Guess I should probably take a look at this thing. I got the magnet method. Take the old controller out, disconnect all the wires. Okay, I get that. So that's what we're going to do. So here's your instruction. Quick install instructions you get. I'm guessing this is the magnet kit. Because like I said, I didn't want to drill holes in my grill in case, you know, I ever give it away or sell it. So you get this magnet kit. And then that looks like the drive right there. So let's open this up. That's pretty cool. Oh, and you can get different colored gaskets. You can get black or red. I went with red because, well, you know, that doesn't quite match this red, but my grill's red, so I got the red gasket. So there's the pellet drive. It's like, oh, you get a little screwdriver. They send you a screwdriver for it, plus the gasket, which is pretty neat. Let's open this up. Okay, so you got a little, there's a drill bit and a little teeny tiny screwdriver and some screws. So it looks like they're looking after you for mounting, which is nice. Looks like you get a little wiring harness here. So that's pretty cool. Looks like it's all labeled nicely too. Auger, fan, igniter, fan 2 if you got it, power. Okay, so it's well labeled, and this must plug probably right into the back. Yeah, there's a jack you just plug that into. Now they give you a probe, temperature probe, which is nice. I can use that on my other FireBoard stuff. They give you, you get a couple meat probes with it. So you get an ambient and a couple of meat probes. More instructions. Oh, look at that. Okay. So they also gave you a drilling template if you're going to drill, but I'm not going to drill. This does fit if you want to permanently affix this like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the magnet mount like I said. Don't throw away your original controller, especially if it works. Hang on to this. Keep it if you want to sell it someday. Give it to a relative, whatever. Hang on to this. This is good to have. Mine's fine. It works fine still. So I'm going to keep that. Magnet kit. So next step, I'm going to take off the Wi-Fi antenna. Actually, I'm going to pull all this stuff off. This is just a paper towel holder that I got. Another Harbor Freight special. So I don't know if you remember, but when I put the Wi-Fi module in, and I've got a video, it's a real early video, don't judge me. When I put the Wi-Fi module in, I had to pull this little plastic plug. It fits right in there. I saved mine. You can get one from Blaz'n, they're $1. Or you can buy one at Lowe's, I think they're about 80 cents. So that's what that is. So let's get this thing taken apart. Oh darn. Okay, I lost, I'll find it later. There was a little washer that went in there. Okay, so I'm going to move the tripod so you guys can see what's going on. Yeah, like I said, lost Canuck is old. I sit down in my little chair here. This is the Wi-Fi module that you buy from Blaz'n. So I'm just going to unplug this. You want to hang on to this with your antenna. I'll find the little washer that fell out of here in a minute. You want to keep your antenna here too. Hang on to that. So hang on to your module and your antenna. So let's take a look underneath the hood here. I'm guessing we're going to have to take this screw and this screw out. We're going to take this little washer off. Remember I said there was we'll put the plug in at the end. Okay, so we are now underneath. There's the little hole where I had the Wi-Fi module. There's the fan. And let's take a look at this. Oh, I see. Okay, so this little cable here plugs into the main board. But we're going to take that out anyway, so let's unscrew the main board. So I'm going to take a Phillips screwdriver and take these two out. Alright, well there's a larger Phillips. Now I don't know what it's like at your house, but my kid takes all my tools and he never puts them back in the right spot, so I can never find them. Okay, so we're going to take this out. Ooh, I don't want that to fall. We're learning together. Okay, whoop, see, just like I said. Whoa, there goes the screw. Okay, so you want to hang on, keep that. So we might need that for grounding later, I don't know. Okay, and there's your old controller board. Let me see if I can see that, hang on. Okay, here's your old controller board. Now, keep this. Looks like an old phone jack or a really simple Ethernet cord. So hang on to this. That's for your Wi-Fi module. I'll just put that on the shelf here. Let's take a look and see what we got. Okay, looks like they're all spade connectors. So I'm going to guess, yeah. So these are the connectors here for your for the thermocouple. Okay, so that's your thermometer inside. And these are your power. This is all your power wiring here. They've done it the right way. Thank you, Blaz'n, for doing it the right way. Okay, let me show you here. Okay, so there's standard connectors here. So there's standard connectors here, so I don't have to screw around with the wires. So I'll just disconnect these. So obviously that's your auger here. That's your control board here. Like I said, this is your thermometer. So let's get everything split up here and disconnect it, and then I can connect it into the main board. Okay, so here's the wiring harness you get from FireBoard. Okay, so the purple and white, that's your igniter, so you know that's your igniter. Fan 1 is your main fan. There's only one fan on this unit, so that's where we're going to connect that to. This is this one. That's your main power, and that's your auger. Okay, so let's look under here, and actually I'm going to cut some of the zip ties to make it easier to connect. Okay, so I'm back, and I cut some of the zip ties to make this a little easier to get to. So you can see this purple connector here. That's your igniter. I haven't disconnected any of the Blaz'n stuff yet. This next one connects right up to your fan here. So that's your fan connector. Now we're over at the interesting stuff. This is your auger connection. And this one's your main power. Okay? So let's disconnect these connectors and get this wiring harness hooked up. Okay? So that'll be the next part of the excitement. Okay, so let's get the fan done first. So that's fan 1, which is this connector. And I know this is the fan connector. So, they even match. Okay, and they should snap in together like that. Next low hanging fruit, which is the igniter. So let's do the igniter. And they're all directional. My head was probably in there. So the plugs are all directional. They made it really easy. Okay, so we're done with the fan. We're done with the igniter. Oh, the power and the auger. Let's do the auger next. That's this one. Okay, so I've disconnected their auger. Let's connect our auger. So I've got everything disconnected except for the temperature probe. Now I'm going to have to pull the bayonets off that in a second. That wasn't too hard, right? So the only thing that you should have that's not used on this is this fan 2. And what I'll do is after I get everything connected, I'll put some zip ties on here and make it a little more tidy. All right, last piece, okay? So you see this. This is your internal ambient temperature probe, okay? So they put them on bayonets. So we're just going to unplug them. So ta-da! That's our old controller. You've got all the wires here. So save this. Hang on to this. Don't throw this away. You're going to want to keep that for the future. Hang on to that. All right, so you're going to want to grab your pellet controller. Now, on the pellet controller, you should have this little plug, okay? It's plugged right here on the board. You just want to pull it out. Oops, had it backwards. Goes in. There's only one way it can go in, like that. So you pull out this plug. That's for your temperature probe, okay? And then this is your ground wire. We'll get to that in a minute. So, you see these bayonet leads. I've got to land those in this little terminal block here, okay? So I'm going to loosen this. They give you a little teeny tiny screwdriver to do that. And then I'm going to loosen the jaws up, and then I'm going to put the wires in. Okay, so that's why they give you this little teeny tiny screwdriver, is to loosen the terminals off on this little block. Okay, so let's see if I can do this right. Wires go in there, so you want to open these little jaws up here. Okay, so you want to have enough room in there to shove those wires in. So when I say shove wires in, here's the scary part, right? Now we're going to have to cut these and strip them back a bit and then put them in that block. So twist your wires around like this after you pull the leads off, just to make it a nice solid wire. And where'd my little cutters go? You want to make the front even. Okay, so I got one done. Let's pull the other one off by hand. Let's see if I can do that one too. You want to make sure they're about the same length so you don't have any shorting. So now you have two even wires. Now on an RTD, I don't think it matters polarity because it's resistive, right? So here's what we're going to do. Where'd that little screwdriver go? And since I'm blind, I got to do it this way. Sorry. We opened our jaws up. Yep. So we're going to do this one first. Shove your wire in with your screwdriver. Make sure it's nice and tight. There you go. Not too tight. You'll strip your block. Okay, good. There's one side. There, should be tight. You know what I'm going to do the same. I'm going to cut the end of that other one down a little bit because I'm anal retentive like that. Tight. Let's go back, make sure they're tight. Okay, not over tightened. Okay. So now we have our main wiring harness connected, and we can do this. So let's figure out how to get this magnet mount done. All right. Well, we got our wiring all connected. Now the only thing left to do is put the magnet kit on here. Now, one thing I'm going to have to run to the hardware store, because I didn't realize this. See this green grounding wire? Important when you're using electricity. The screw that came off your original Blaz'n, which sits right here, that screw actually pulls straight through the loop on the ground wire. So I'm going to have to run to the hardware store, get a little bolt and nut that fits that. And we're going to just use one of these existing holes for the ground. I don't think it's not painted on the other side, so that'll ground it out. Let's put the magnet kit on here. Okay, so if you're blind like the Lost Canuck, this little Allen wrench they give you is magnetized, stuck on the magnet. So let's try and get one of these magnets in here. Already got the screw in one, yeah. So we're going to take the Allen wrench. It's stuck to this magnet. These are strong magnets. Put that right there. Okay. So we're good there. And put our spacer on. Then let's take our magnet. Holy cow. Maybe I shouldn't have. Note to self. These are super strong magnets, okay? Allen wrench. Okay, there's one. So now we got one. We'll put, oh yeah. So that's how you do it. Screw your magnet, and it's really close. So let's put all 4 magnets on. I'll fast forward through this so you don't see my pain. Okay, so we got all of our magnets screwed in like that, all nice and tight. Let's get the. I got the red gasket. You can use the black one if your grill is black, whatever you want. Just gonna put this back in like this, and just make sure go around all the edges. Make sure it's seated properly, just like so. Okay. And you know what? I put the gasket on backwards. So, pro tip. See this little cutout here on that? On the bottom of your FireBoard drive, there's a little USB-C thing. So what you want to do is make sure that the gasket matches up to that. We can all learn from our mistakes. Okay, so where was that USB? So that little slot's got to go. Okay, now we're back in business. I'm going to put the gasket back on. You don't have to watch me do that. I still got to run to the hardware store for this bolt. I'll be right back. All right, well, we're back from the hardware store. So I got a number 8 machine screw, 8 by 32 threads per inch. Pretty common machine screw. Phillips head, that's all they had. Got some number 8 washers and a number 8 wing nut. Okay, so basically, and I know it fits through the hole, I just tried it. Fits through, no problem. So, what we're going to do is get our controller all plugged up. Then we're going to put our ground wire on there. And remember I said, if you happen to have put Wi-Fi on your Blaz'n, there's a hole here. It's a 3/8 inch hole. So you can either go to your local hardware store and get a little 3/8 inch plug. I think they're about 68 cents. They're plastic, just like this. Or you can order one from Blaz'n too. They have them. So it's just a little plug that fills the hole. Because the controller you have from FireBoard doesn't need an antenna. So just push that in there. There looks like it's brand new stock again. Okay. All right. So let's get our controller. We'll hook our ground wire up, get everything plugged into the board, and see what happens. Okay, so here's our controller. I put the gasket on. Here's our green little ground wire. So what we're going to do is let's get everything plugged onto here first. Okay, like I said, we'll clean up the cables with zip ties here after we get everything connected. Then plug this. There's only one way it can go. Remember our temperature plug that we did? Make sure they're in there. We're going to plug that also into the FireBoard. Let's get our ground wire connected here. So we're going to take a washer because you don't want this to pull through this hole. It's a big hole. Okay. I'm going to put that through the hole here. So we got our ground wire connected. We got our other, so this we should just be able to put our magnets on, right? Just like that. So, there it is. Now, this is the most satisfying part right here. Let's peel this little protective cover off the screen. Ooh, That's the best part. Okay, so there's our controller. Looks good. Looks like it's supposed to be like that. Red gasket kind of matches the grill. Let's get this put down. Let's wheel it outside. Turn it on. See if it smokes. Now, if smoke comes out of here, that's bad. If smoke comes out of there, that's good. It's really hard to get the smoke back in your electronics. That's special smoke. All right, let's go outside and fire this thing up. All right, well, we're outside with the Blaz'n Grand Slam. I just plugged it in. I haven't turned the power on yet. So now is our moment of truth. Does it actually power up? But the light turned red. That's it. Oh, it's booting up here. FireBoard Pellet Drive setup. Let's get in for a closer look. Okay, so it's asking me pellet drive setup. Let's see, model, standard default. I guess it's standard default. We'll try that. Okay, well, that's, I just wheeled it outside, so thinks it's 70 degrees. Hopefully that's right. Here, let me open the lid. It's probably going to cool off. I know it's not 70. It's about 30 something out here. Okay, so let me go grab some pellets that I just pulled out. We'll load her up with pellets because I emptied the hopper to make it less heavy over there. So let's fill her up with pellets, and I have to hook up the internet too. I have to hook up the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I got the old pellets here. I'm gonna throw them into the hopper. Now, if you remember, at the beginning of the video, I recorded a section where with using the old controller, I turned it up to 250 to see how much smoke would come out of here. We're going to do the exact same thing, except got the new controller. So we're going to turn it up to 250, get it all set up, and see if we're getting any more smoke. I know it's purely, it's my opinion, but we'll take a look at that. Let's get this loaded up with pellets, though. These are the same ones that I just dropped out earlier. No, it's telling me press the knob to ignite, so let's try it. What do I usually do? I usually close this. Probably doing it the wrong way. Oh, I heard the fan's going on. It says it's starting. No, I can hear the pellets plinking in there. Now it's set at 225. Here, I'll show you. I turn it on. It says it's starting. It's set at 225. And while the temperature is probably, it's starting to go up a little bit. Let's set it to 250 so we can see how much smoke comes out of it. Now, I'm familiar with the FireBoard controls because my Lone Star has one too. Now, this is a little newer one. This is the pellet drive. I have the FireBoard drive too. Okay, and that's what it looks like. All right, well, when it gets up to 250, or if it ever gets to 250, I'll let you know here in a second, but it's so far so good. I'm going to hook up the Wi-Fi while we wait till it gets to 250. All right, well, I got it connected to Wi-Fi, and while it's starting up here, it's really, the temperature's climbing. A couple of neat features is here at the bottom, there are 6 probe ports, so you can have 6 wired probes on this controller, which is pretty neat. And like I said, it wasn't too hard. It took me, excluding the grounding bolt, it took me, about 45 minutes to complete, and that's because I didn't know what I was doing. So there we go. We're just waiting for it to get up to 250. It's climbing now. I think there's some smoke in here. Maybe I can smell the pellets. So again, we'll wait till it gets up to 250. Screw around. Hey, well, we're back, and we're upstairs here in the BBQ Lab, and well, you saw me talk about this new FireBoard pellet drive conversion that we're going to do out on the Blaz'n Grill Works. Okay, So this is pretty cool. You saw me talk about this. This is going to be a super crazy good upgrade, I think, to the control system. And what better way to test the new controls is using a, well, we're going to do a little turkey breast today. We're going to throw that out on the Blaz'n Grillworks Grand Slam grill with the newly upgraded controls. Okay, so let's just get this turkey breast out of the package, and we'll get her dressed up and then fire up the Blaz'n with the new stuff. Okay, so I accidentally cut into the gravy pack, which, by the way, kind of bugs me that they're selling this giant pack of gravy. This is sold by the pound, by the way, and they're selling you gravy by the pound. So come on, Butterball. You guys can do a little better than that. Come on, Matt. I know you guys can do better than that. All right. So basically you get this little turkey breast roast. I'm going to pat it off, get some of the liquid off the surface. And then we're going to put some, not that it needs binder, it's so wet, but it comes in this little mesh netting. So I picked this up at Woodman's. Now, if you guys are anywhere near Wisconsin and you can get to a Woodman's, wow, the Woodman's store is so cool. Let me just tell you about that for a second. They're giant, they're huge, and if they have one thing that you like, one particular item, they'll have just about every brand made of that one item. So Woodman's is pretty cool. Closest one to me is in Eau Claire, though. So you know what? I'm not even going to use binder. I was going to use this cool sauce that I picked up at Shields, Demon Pig. It's Carolina mustard. We'll use that at the end when I eat this stuff. But it's from North Dakota. It's from Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Now, if you guys don't know where that is, look that up. It's in the middle of nowhere. So south of me from Manitoba. All right, so let's get our rub on. Some of this, this is local rub from, they make this right here in Hudson, Wisconsin. It's oak we're smoking. Really like this stuff. I'm going to use this honey chipotle. So that will go good on the turkey. Okay, that's plenty. We'll just rub it around in here. Get some from the board. Oh, that smells great. Okay, plenty. So I'm going to use this sauce later on when it's time to do a little glazing. But right now we're going to throw this in the fridge. We're in for a blizzard tonight. We're supposed to get 15 to 24 plus inches of snow tonight, so I'm going to throw this on the old cooker, probably about 2 o'clock, so we'll have her done for supper. Because this is a pretty small roast, and cooking at about 250, because remember, pre-FireBoard control install, I showed you how much smoke I was getting off the regular Roanoke controller at 250, so we'll see if this thing adds a little more smoke. I know I like the controls better on this anyways for the graphing and how to control things. So, all right, okay, we'll see you back down at the pit to throw this on with the new controls, and we'll see you back down at the Blaz'n Grand Slam grill. See you then. All right, well, we got it hooked up to Wi-Fi, like I said, and turned it on. I have it set to 250. Now look, this is a PID loop controller, okay? So it's controlling on feedback it's receiving back from the temperature probe. So brand new out of the box, it's gonna be a little, unpredictable. But as the program progresses, it's gonna not learn, it's not smart, but it's gonna take the feedback it's getting and tighten up the temperature control. So right now it's sitting there, it's coming up a bit, it's 244, I have it set at 250, not bad. And there's probably a firmware update on here I probably have to do soon. But the kind of what you get with the controller is you also get an ambient probe. So if you don't want to control off your ambient probe that comes with the Blaz'n that's on the side here, you can hook up your ambient probe, feed it through the hole, put it close to your meat, whatever, cook that way. Okay? You also get 2 food probes with it, wired food probes. We're going to try these out in a second. Actually, why don't we try a cook on here? You know, make it kind of interesting. I'm going to do a turkey breast, okay? I got it already done, the brining, etc. And let's throw it on the smoker. We'll put in a wired probe. I'll also put in a wireless probe because I like to monitor remote too. But now you can monitor this remote. The features on here are a lot more complex than the old Blaz'n the old Blaz'n Grillworks controller. You get a lot of really nice graphing features, just things that you can play with. There's a lot more options available with this. But let's try one of the food probes, and let me go get the turkey, and we'll come down and we'll give her a shot here, okay? All right, well, we're back here at the pit, like I say. This thing's still tuning itself in. We're getting a little smoke out of here. Is it any more smoky than the stock controller? Too early to tell. Let's throw this thing in. Let's let this thing dial itself in, because it's the action of going up and down is what produces your smoke. So let's get the RFX probe in. I'm going to monitor part of it with this one. And then I'm going to take the wired probe. Okay, so there's 6 different probe ports you can use. Pick whatever probe port you want, and we'll get this hooked up. So I'm just going to go into number 1, which is right here. Okay, now make sure your probe is seated. Now it's sitting in. Now it's telling me over here it's 35, which is, I believe that. So we're going to monitor with the RFX and the wired probe. Now at 250, this probably isn't going to cook more than 2 hours or so. Okay, so are we getting any more smoke? I don't know yet. TBD. Stay tuned. Oh, one other important note on here. On the settings, there's lid detection, okay? So typically on a pellet grill, you want to turn your lid detection off, because what happens is when you open it, it shuts the feed down for a while if it notices that. So just leave it off. And you know what? I didn't feed the... Canuck is silly sometimes. I didn't feed the probe through the probe port properly. So there's a little probe port here on the side of most pellet grills. That's how you want to do it. Okay, plug it back into channel 1. There, make sure it's seated properly. It'll give you some funny readings, okay? So the internal of that breast here, I'll take it off and show you. Okay, so we're running. Now I had the lid open for a while, so it's got to recover here. But the inside of my turkey breast says it's 34.8, and I'm on channel 1 here. And there's the set point. I'm hooked up to Wi-Fi. I'm also hooked Bluetooth to this phone, I guess. And that tells you what your auger speed is here. And the fan's on, and it's arrows up means it's trying to catch up. All right. And I also got the RFX system wireless probe in there. There's some trash. Okay. Well, I'm going to cook this up to 130, and then I'm going to cut the netting off, glaze it, and then bring the internal up to about 162 or so. It'll carry up past the safe temp of 165. All right, well, we're up to the smoker. We're at 250. This thing's cranking out some good smoke here for being 250. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's not bad. It's way better than it used to be on the Blaz'n system. Now, it took a while to get here because, again, the PID controller, you know, has to figure things out while it's cooking. So there's a little shot of the smoke. Here's where we're at. I have it set at 250. Let's take a look at the pellets. Oh, rearrange these a little bit. There we go. And let's take a look. We're at 135. Oh yeah, this looks good. Let's bring this in to cut the netting off and glaze. All right. Ooh, it's getting windy and it's starting to snow. This is the first part of the blizzard that I told you that we're going to get. Now, it's just starting to snow now. Tonight, it's going to really kick in. So let's get this thing off. I'm just going to, it's probably super hot. It is. I'm going to unplug this probe. So we don't need that anymore. For now. Okay. We're going to put this here. Let's bring it inside. We're going to put some glaze on there and put her back on the grill. I better close this before I lose all of my heat. Okay. Let's go inside. You too. No, you leave that alone. All right, well, we're inside the BBQ Lab. And first, let's pull this netting off here so we can glaze it. I'm just going to use these scissors to simply cut the netting off. There's a treat for the dog. Otis, you want that? Here's one for you. Okay, so let's get this thing glazed up. Now there's a big giant hole in the side of it, so I didn't want to do that.
That's fun. It's for a lake.
That's right. You put more glaze in there. So let's get the glaze on. And we'll put it back on. We'll bring it up to past 165 or so. That's glazed up pretty nicely, I'd say. Covered the surface. So what we're going to do, oh, probably want to know what I'm using. I'm using this Cosmos Q barbecue glaze. I'm using peach jalapeno. This is really good stuff. Okay, so let's take this back out to the smoker. Putting my probe back in, so I sort of have an idea still. I got to bring it up to 165 internal, so it's food safe. And I'll throw it on the grill. Next time you see me, I'll be pulling it off, and we'll bring it up to the cutting board to slice it. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, well, it's time to pull this thing off. It's 170 inside. I let it go a little too far. I had to turn the temp up so we would eat today. Wow, look at the color on there. Looks good. You can hear it sizzling. And, well, here's a bit of the blizzard, the start of the blizzard we're getting. So let's pull this thing off and put it in the little Vevor holding oven. All right, well, the turkey breast is done. Done, done, done. Look at that. Looks good. And this is going to be hot. There we go. Let's take this and put this into our little holding oven. We'll come back and show you how to put this in cool down mode. Let's go inside, put this in the holding oven. Okay, so I've got my little Vevor food warmer here set at 147. Which is a good temp to be, because you want to be just barely under 150, so this thing drifts around 150, so you can stop the cooking process, and we're just going to wrap the top of this with some foil and throw it in. So we're just going to throw this in. It's a little early for supper yet, so we'll take it out when it's time to eat. And there, I just heard it kick on, and we'll see you at the cutting board. Okay, well, I've turned the grill down to 180, as you can see here. And on this new controller, how you turn it off is you just turn this off. Now it goes into cool down. Look at that. Who knew? Buttons on the side have nothing to do with it. So we're going to let this thing go in cool down mode. I'm going to push this into my garage before it gets any wetter. And we'll see you soon. Hey, well, we're back from the holding oven. here's our little butterball turkey roast. So yeah, the color looked really good. Crust looks good. So let's slice into this thing. Oh, you know what? Let's do a quick temperature check. Now, I pulled it out of the warming cooler, or sorry, I pulled it out of the warming oven at about 160, but it probably dropped since then. Well, it still says 160. Let's just cut her down the middle. See what it looks like. Oh yeah, look at the juice coming out of there. Nice. It's not dry, that's for sure. And it's cooked, well cooked. So let's take a couple slices out of here. It's starting to fall apart on me. My friends down in Mount Olive made this. It's a butterball turkey breast roast. So let's give one to the videographer. See if she likes it. Here's one for me. Cheers. I like the glaze. Glaze really did nice. It took about 4.5 hours to smoke this. So you could make it on a weekday. And one of the cool things was we did it with our new controller. So let's do final thoughts and conclusions on our mod. So you saw me take the old Blaz'n control systems controller out and put the new FireBoard Labs controller in. It fired up. We had no problems with it. It ran that pellet grill flawlessly. As it was learning, or as it was going, the PID loop was tuning itself in. We got more and more smoke as it goes. Now, is it smokier than the original one? Jury's still out. Okay. It looked to me as we were gone down the road there, it looked a little smokier at 250, but we'll have to do some more testing with it. But it ran perfectly. Igniter fired up, fan works, auger, it all works. So FireBoard Labs, good job. And it was pretty easy to do. It took about 45 minutes to convert the old over to the new, not including I needed that little ground wire nut and bolt. So simple, easy to do. So if you have a Blaz'n Grill Works and your controller has crapped out on you, I would recommend spending the $350 and buy the one from FireBoard Labs. Okay, I think it cost me $350 plus whatever the shipping is, and so there you go. There's so much more options with the FireBoard Labs on graphing, on making programs for it, all that kind of stuff. It's really nice, and it's made in Kansas City. So if you found value out of this video, my conversion, my little mod, my trial cook with the controller, all that stuff, please hit that like button. Really helps my channel out. And if you want, you really found a lot of value out of it, hit that hype button. That really supercharges the video. And again, if you're a new viewer and you haven't seen my channel before, consider hitting that, the like, obviously, like, subscribe, and the notify me bell just lets you know when I have new content. And I got different content. I got Lone Star, I got a charcoal drum, I got different charcoal grills, I got a master built, I got all kinds of stuff. So, and again, if you liked anything I used, like, I'll put a link down there for that FireBoard Pellet Drive controller. It's pretty cool. And then anything else I used in the video, knives, cutting board, gloves, that kind of stuff. I'll throw, my Ope we're smoking rub, good rub, local rub. So that's all there is to that. Check out the Lost Canuck affiliate store below. Finally, hey, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll put the QR code for my page up here. I do post different things from time to time, a little different than YouTube. So I'm over 1,000 followers. Thank you very much. Don't forget to follow me. And then finally, final words of always from Lost Canuck. Don't forget, be kind to each other. It really matters. It's getting super tough out there nowadays. Kindness goes a long ways. You never know what other people are going through. Mental health is super important. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Love you guys.